hopefully you remember a little of this from last year. Order of operations, we have this little, whatever it is, an acronym, whatever it is, which is, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. All those letters mean something. The P stands for parentheses, but you gotta be careful with that because it's not just parentheses. It is also grouping symbols. And there are more grouping symbols than just parentheses. There are what? There's brackets. There's these braces. Actually, there's a fraction line. Those are all grouping symbols. But parentheses comes first. Then the E stands for? Jacob? Exponents and roots. They fall on the same level. Square roots, cube roots. M and D stand for multiplication and division. And they fall on the same level, but you need to do it from left to right. And then the last thing you do when you're given a choice of all operations is addition and subtraction from left to right. And you remember, I think we did this last year. It just gets a lot more complicated this year. I'm going to take this hopefully and see if I can't squeeze this down so I can have a little more room to work. It probably won't work today. Oh no, this is not what I wanted to do. Oh, good. This is what I wanted. That means this. Write down this example problem. And here's another place where you'll be, if you don't show your work, Mr. Hahn will be incredibly disappointed in you. Write this problem. Here's our example problem. 20. Maybe I'll make this bigger. Sorry. Which means I can't. 20 minus 2 times 3 cubed plus, in parentheses, 7 plus, I think it's 8. 7 plus 8 divided by 5. And we have, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So, given that stuff there, what is the first thing I do in order of operations, Jacob? So that means I have to do this. And again, please appease the teacher. 7 plus 8 is 15. But I'm gonna, just so I keep myself organized, I am going to rewrite everything just because it's better that way. So there's step number 1. I did parentheses. Step number 2. What's next? Exponents and roots. Well, I only have one. That's this little guy right here. What is 3 to the 3rd power? What's that?
27.
You know what? It's actually supposed to be 3 to the 2nd power. Let's change that. And 3 to the 2nd power is 9.
There's always some trees.
Well, that's mesmerized. Not been a good day. That's great. My hair sounds great. And then I am rewriting all of that gobbledygook. Yeah, they're done.
They're done. Because I noticed them.
I did.
Check before I turn grad. Wonder what this is.
Oh yeah. Love the hardwood.
Did you print this?
No, it's contact paper.
Oh.
Last year I actually stuck it on there. I figured why not use it over from year to year and just staple it up there. I actually should put it on hinges and make it open.
But were these, did you just print
I printed those.
and then laminated them or just printed them on?
I put packing tape over. I don't laminate such small things.
Not with packing tape, will you?
No, packing tape.
Are you gonna put
recess this year?
No, we haven't got to that point yet. We're studying Luther, when we get to the when he nails it down there.
Are you going to?
What?
Are you using Reese's?
Yes, oh, there'll be 95 Reese's up there.
That's-
Don't worry. Alright, so that puts us at the multiplication division thing. Now notice there is one multiplication, one division thing, and when you do that, you do it from left to right. These fall on the same level. You don't do one before the other. So you just, as you read it, that's the way you do it. So 2 times 9 would come first. So 20 minus whatever 2 times 9 is, which is 18, plus whatever 5 divided by 15 divided by 5 is, which is 3. So bam. Now here is where I see so many people go wrong. Probably not so much for this one, but in other cases. You know, a lot of times people will see this, like if this was a 2, they would go, oh, 18 plus 2 is 20, and 20 minus 20 is 0, so they'll put 0 down, but you can't do that. Because addition and subtraction fall in the same order, you have to do it from left to right. You have to go 20 minus 18 first, and then 2 plus 3 last, which is 5. Don't do this one first, because you'll get a wrong answer. And then if you know you've done it right, when at the end you've got this thing that looks like a nice little tornado. The whole thing goes down to one nice little number there. 5 is the answer. Got that? So here, let me give you one for you to try. You do this one. Oh no, no, forget it. I'm gonna do this one with you too. Write down this problem. 10 minus brace. 10 minus brace. 8 minus, they get a little complicated in here, bracket, 6 minus parenthesis, 5 minus 3.
I don't like this.
When you see this, okay, you have to follow order of operations, but in order to solve, like, let me do this again. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. But see, in order to do the grouping symbols, okay, in order to do this grouping symbols, you have to do order of operations inside of that to get it down to one number. In order to do that, you have to do order of operations inside that and inside that. So when you see multiple grouping symbols, you have to start in the middle, use order of operations, and work your way out. The last thing I am going to do here is subtract whatever I get there from 10. Because that is everything else falls. This has to all be done first because parentheses and grouping symbols come before addition, subtraction. So you work your way out from the middle, which means the first thing you're going to do is 5 minus 3, which is 2. And you have 6 minus 2. You still have this, you have this, you have this, and you have this. And then you're still working inside grouping symbols, and the most middle one is this 6 minus 2, which is 4. You got rid of your brackets and you up to this. And now you do 8 minus 4, which is 4. Well, I guess I don't have those braces anymore. And then it is 10 minus 4, which is 6. But again, it's that little swirly, sort of cyclonic sort of thing there. Oof, let me give you a couple to try here. 2 plus 5 times 2 minus 1. 2 plus 5 times 2 minus 1. What do you get for an answer for that? 2 plus 5 times 2 minus 1. Abram?
11.
Let's see. First thing you should have done was that. So you rewrite it as 2 plus 10 minus 1. 2 plus 10 is 12 minus 1, and you end up with an 11. How about this one? 10 minus bracket 8 minus 6 minus 3. What do you get for that one? And then one more, I suppose. 3 plus 3 times 3 minus 3 divided by 3. Do both of those. 3 plus 3 times 3 minus 3 divided by 3. For that top one, we ended up with, Tyler?
I have 5.
Now, let's see, so 6 minus 3 is 3. 8 minus 3 is 5. And 10 minus 5 is 5. The second one, Bran?
11.
Well, let's check and see. First thing you should have done was 3 times 3. And then you should have done 3 divided by 3. And from left to right, 12 plus 9 is, 3 plus 9 is 12, minus 1 is 11. And then one more, just so you get this here. What about this? 12, what's that? 12 times 12 over 3 plus 3. Here's what you must think about. When you have a problem like this, the fraction line is a grouping symbol, which means you need to simplify the top, then simplify the bottom, and then you can do your division. So the parentheses get done first. So 12 times 12 is 144 on top. 3 times 3 on the bottom is 6. And then once you simplify that all the way, then you can divide the 6 into 144, which is what? 24.